I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing.
Stephanie White was absolutely livid after what happened to the Indiana Fever last night. She called out the referees in front of everyone, saying exactly what we've all been thinking. The Fever lost by just 2 points to the New York Liberty, but let's be honest. They were robbed. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy over recent games, a blatant no call on Catlin Clark in the final seconds that could have tied it, and a head coach who's had enough. In this video, we're breaking down the highlights, the replays, and the receipts. Let us know in the comments what you think of this awful officiating.
Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the 4th time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York and they still barely won.
Let's get into it. Picture this. The Indiana Fever, toe-to-toe with the defending champions. Trading baskets like heavyweight fighters. Aaliyah Boston. Unstoppable. 27 points. 13 rebounds. A clinic in the paint. Lexi Hall. Huge. 15 points in her first start of the season. Stepping up when her team needed her most. This was championship-level basketball from Indiana, but something felt off. From the opening tip, the whistles just weren't there every time the Fever attacked the basket. Contact. The kind that earns free throws in any normal game, but the refs. Silent. Meanwhile, the Liberty. Call after call. New York went to the line 32 times. Indiana.
Three off target. Batted along. Bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Catlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Catlin Clark.
Only 15. In a 2-point game, that's a massive difference. What made this loss sting even more? The Fever dominated the third quarter, outscoring the Liberty by 17 points. They even led by 12 in the fourth. Indiana proved they could hang with the best in the league if given a fair shot. Catlin Clark was getting doubled, bodied, pressured non-stop, and still put up 18 points and 10 assists. She fought through everything, but got zero help from the officials. Meanwhile, New York players were going
pass shot possessions for New York. Clark, step back three. Oh, she hit it and draws the foul. Welcome back, Catlin Clark.
To the line for light contact at best. Now, here's where it all fell apart. 2.9 seconds left. Fever down 2. Catlin Clark gets the ball. This was the moment. She drives. Natasha Cloud makes obvious contact. Not once, multiple times. Before, during, and after the shot.
Our third quarter was really, really good. Obviously, we won the quarter by 17 points. That's what put us in a position to have a chance to win. So essentially, we really played one good quarter of basketball and lost to the defending champions by 2. So I guess that's positive. A lot of ways to continue to get better.
Everyone saw it. Replay confirms it. It's the kind of foul that's called 100 times out of 100. But this time. Silence.no whistle. No free throws. No chance to tie. And 2 plays before that. No call on a clear foul against Dana Evans, who got hacked on a layup, then, a phantom foul called on Lexi Hull against Sabrina Ionescu, who wasn't even touched. Those free throws the game winners, points that should never have happened. 3 crucial calls. All against Indiana. All in the final moments. All changing the outcome of the game.
A 3 off target. Batted a lot. Bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Catlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Catlin Clark.
You've never seen a coach this angry. Stephanie White walked into that press conference knowing her team got robbed. She didn't hold back. She dropped the stat everyone needs to hear: -31 free throw attempts over the last few games. Let that sink in. 31 fewer free.
The refs messed up 3 calls in the last 3 possessions of this game. First, DeWanna Bonner gets absolutely destroyed, no call.
Throws than their opponents. And when asked about that final no call on Clark, White said, "I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. Pretty egregious. That's coach speak for, absolutely ridiculous." But she didn't stop there. She called out the entire system. There's a system to communicate our grievances. I don't know that I ever feel like the system works. Translation: the WNBA isn't listening.
And this is the worst one. There's 1 foul. There's 2 fouls. Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the 4th time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York and they still barely.
The system is broken. White made it crystal clear, this isn't just about one game. It's about weeks of unfair treatment. A team on the rise. And here's the twist: this might be exactly what the Fever needed. After the game, Catlin Clark said, "We're 2 possessions from being 4-0. Think about that, this team is that close to being undefeated." Clark also admitted, "Feels like every game, we've only put 2 quarters together." That's honest. That's leadership. They know what needs fixing. Aaliyah Boston just had a
Coach, you talked about the way that the game's been officiated for you guys. How did you see the foul that was not called, or a lack of foul, on the Bonner play, and then follow it up by Lexi Hull getting called for the foul?
I thought it was egregious, honestly. I mean, I thought it was obvious. I felt like AB got one, had one going to the rim. They're in rotation. DB's was crazy. And then Lexi's, I felt like equally, we talk about, coming into the path, and it was an offensive player veering into the defensive player's path. It is what it is. We have to be able to play through it. But at the same time, I feel like it's really disrespectful.
Monster game. Lexi Hull proved she's ready to start. This isn't a one-woman team. This is a growing powerhouse. Even with Clark having an off shooting night, the Fever were right there with the best in the league. Let's be clear. This controversy is fueling a fight.
Disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. But we also can't allow that to consume us, right? Like, we've got to be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control.
Fans are rallying. The team is uniting. Stephanie White is protecting her players, no matter the cost. Every missed call. More motivation. Every bad whistle. More hunger. This is the kind of adversity that builds championship teams. And you can't teach mental toughness, you earn it. And the Fever are earning it every night.
She got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A -31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim.
And here's the twist: this might be exactly what the Fever needed. After the game, Catlin Clark said, "We're 2 possessions from being 4-0. Think about that, this team is that close to being undefeated." Clark also admitted, "Feels like every game, we've only put 2 quarters together. That's honest. That's leadership. They know what needs fixing. Aaliyah Boston just had a monster game. Lexi Hull proved she's ready to start. This isn't a one-woman team. This is a growing powerhouse. Even with Clark having an off shooting night, the Fever were right there with the best in the league. Let's be clear. This controversy is...
And your perspective on the first 4 games, is that something you've already tried to be proactive with the league, or you'll reach out to them and let your feelings known?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a system to making sure that we can send stuff in and communicate, our grievances, so to speak. I don't know that I ever feel like the system works. We're not looking for a change. We're just looking for consistency. I felt like the second half of Atlanta, at least at our place, was at least consistent. Right. And that's the thing that we're looking for.
Is fueling a fire. Fans are rallying. The team is uniting. Stephanie White is protecting her players, no matter the cost. Every missed call. More motivation. Every bad whistle. More hunger. This is the kind of adversity that builds championship teams. And you can't teach mental toughness, you earn it. And the Fever are earning it every night.
On the plus side, you could say you're 2 possessions away from being 4-0 in these games. Do you look at it from both sides? Like, here are the positives of this, and then here are the things we really want to work on.
Yeah, and that's probably what's frustrating about it, too. Is like, we are 2 possessions or, from being 4-0, but there was so many little areas in this game that we could have improved. Like, our defense, again, to start the game was poor. And we got to find a way to come out with more energy, be able to guard. And yes, they present a very tough challenge when all 5 of them can make threes and, they're setting inverted ball screens, things like that. It's a challenge, but you got to find a way to.
The refs might try to stop them, but they can't stop what's coming. The Indiana Fever are building something special, and nothing, not even biased officiating, will hold them back. So what do you think? Did the refs steal this game? Let us know.
Consistency is definitely where we can be a lot better. It feels like every game we've really only put 2 quarters together. We're kind of waiting for that, 4 quarters of really good basketball. And I think it's going to be a learning curve. This group is new. We haven't played a ton together. So, but that's what's going to have to happen if we want to beat the really good teams in this league is you got to find a way to put together 4 really good quarters. There's going to be runs. That's basketball. They're going to go on their runs. We got to be able to find a way to stop them and then respond. So I think that's an area we can serve.
I think for us, we just have to make sure that we're playing consistent throughout the whole game. It's pretty easy to just say that our, not getting over the hump in that 4th quarter, but I think our start, in that 2nd quarter, they outscored us by a bit. So we have to make sure that our start is better so that when we do get to the 4th quarter, it doesn't have to be this close. But I mean, it was competitive basketball. We dug ourselves in a hole to start. We got back in it, tied the game up. Sometimes the ball just doesn't roll your way, but I think if we prioritize the way we start, it's going to be better for us in that 4th quarter.
You accept officiating without letting it, affect how you go about and execute the rest of the game?
Yeah, when it comes to accepting, it's we don't really have a choice because they're going to call what they want to call. And so for us, even for me, I miss some of those easy around the rim. I think for me, I have to put them in the rim for just post talk. And we just have to finish through contact. If we don't get it, we don't get it, but we have to give ourselves the best opportunity to get that basket.
To get some work in practice, and we'll use that as an opportunity to look at some of those things. We've got to continue to do what got us here. We got to move the ball. We've got to hit singles, not make home run plays. We have a tendency to try to make the home run play all the time, the dagger or the play that gets the momentum going, or, and it doesn't need to be that way. We can make the easy plays. So those were more of the communications, keeping our intensity level, on both ends of the floor. You can't relax. The margin for error when you're talking about playing championship caliber teams is so small.
Go down in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on screen now for more Fever content, and we'll see you in the next one.